Well, I mean, it's football season, but it's really cool to be able to speak about some basketball. Um, really glad our football team won because I was at practice and I never go. And I'm like, oh, did I mess this up? But we figured it out. Football's kind of been wild anyway. But just to talk about basketball and really excited about this year's group. Last year was a fun ride, obviously. Now we're looking forward to creating new memories and moments. And we got a lot of new faces that I'm excited about introducing to the Oxford community. And, everyone's asking me if I'm ready for the season. And my honest answer is no. But official practice has begun this week, and we will begin to get ready as we've started in the summer, but with our officially now.
Questions for Coach?
I know for a while the goal was to make the NCAA tournament. You guys did it. What is the next step for this program?
Well, we're just continuing to rebuild, not as much as like at first we were trying to build completely. It's just reconstruct, and so just like the new football facility, you get it, it's nice, and then you want to expand, and so we want to do the same thing, and I think that's the goal, just to expand from where we were into where we're trying to go, which is to be a program that is expected to go to the NCAA tournament every year and beyond.
Obviously, players like Kira don't grow on trees, but going into year one
Yeah.
after she's gone, just kind of what do you guys have to do to kind of replace that production down low?
We really don't focus on replacing anyone. We focus on player development. We think when Kira first came, she was averaging, I think, 9 and 4, and she left 16 and 9. So, I think we assisted her in her development, and we want to do the same thing with this year's group. That's been a question I've gotten: how we're going to replace, and I just don't think that we focus on that. We focus on pouring into our current group, like I said, which has a lot of new faces that I think everybody will be excited about, and giving them all of our energy and effort and supporting Kira when we can, as she represents either the WNBA or USA.
How did those kind of summer workouts go with just having to mesh a lot of the new pieces you brought in this year?
Well, we're still meshing. I don't think that's something that you stop with a group like this. We have 8 new players, and so there's a lot of meshing going on. And I have 2 new coaches, so that's something that we're gonna just continue to do, probably all season. The reason why I knew last year we would get to the tournament, it was because we brought the whole team back, and so they had a whole year of meshing. So now, with the cards being dealt in the transfer portal, we got to kind of speed this thing up and get it going, and we're being very intentional about that. Um, Putting the group in situations to have to lean on each other and figure out how to mesh maybe sooner than normal, and but still allowing it to be its natural flow, allowing mistakes to happen, allowing us to learn about each other, and so on and so forth.
What have you seen out of Taylor the time you've got to be with her?
Myah. Oh, I'm like Taylor. Uh, Taylor Smith. No. Myah. Myah is exactly who we thought she would be. And, I remember reaching out to her when she went into the transfer portal, and my first line was "Hear me out." and so, and basically, I asked her to come and help lead us, help play at the point guard position, bring that experience. And when we got her, there was a breath of, it was a confidence booster for me, knowing that we got a very important piece added to the roster. I think point guard play is number one in most teams' books, definitely mine. And so having her with the experience of being in the Final Four and playing in big games and understanding the SEC, it was a home run. Right, exactly.
wanting to develop that. How much different can this team look in the kind of scheme you play with, improved point guard play?
Well, here's the thing. That's a great question. We're going to be different because we're going to open up the floor way more. The two things that we've lacked, is everyone knows, is point guard play and 3-point shooting. And so we've tried to address that in the off season. And so with having Myah, and then we brought in Bree late because Brooke got into a car accident, and so she's not going to play this season. And bringing in some shooters, 3-point capable shooters, it allows us to transform into more positionless basketball. And that's something that I think the team is excited about. As a staff, we're excited about being able to put people in place. So our new offensive style is just advantage basketball, trying to put our players in situations where they have the advantage over the defense.
Madison was in here earlier, and she said she's kind of grown in that leadership position as well.
That's what she said?
Yeah, who's as one of the people who's been here, one of the players, how have you kind of seen her grow in that regard?
Maddie is she has. When they're freshmen, they give you a lot of gray hairs, and then sophomore they give you a little less, but still. I have 1 or 2 patches that has her name on it, but now she's a junior, and that's when things kind of level out, and so I think she's definitely shown the want to lead. We hadn't really asked her to do that before, just because she was just so young and needed the experience, but Maddie has experience. She understands what we need to do. She knows what it feels like to go to the NCAA tournament, and that is important. And so I think it's just natural that everyone expects her to step up and want to be a part of the leadership group and in a leadership role. And I've been seeing that from the time she came back on campus.
You hoping to see her get out of Angel, and your expectations for her next year?
Angel got to be a bucket getter for us. I mean, there's just, that's what it is. Like, she has to score for us. That is something that she can do. And I talked to her about that numerous times. I'm like, how much do you want to average? I think that she's gonna have a really strong season. She's super focused. This is her last lap, so to speak, as far as collegiate basketball is concerned, and she wants to do well. She too has had tons of NCAA tournament experience, not just with us, but with Wright State, and we are going to be leaning on that, And last year she had the privilege to come off the bench and watch and see and get the flow of the game from that perspective, and we kept that going when she was doing so well, because I figured, like, she can get an award out of this. But now, like, she's gonna start for us and be a premier piece for our success and on our roster.
Roster turnover is really normal in college basketball now. Does it change the way you have to coach, or does it make it more challenging having such a brand new roster almost every year?
Well, I think I just go back to my experience from coaching with the national team. You get 2 weeks to get a team prepared, and that's it. No one really cares about the fact that you only get 2 weeks. And then I also think COVID has helped too. Anytime we can start now, we feel like we got to jump on life. COVID, we didn't get to start until I think middle of September. And so this is super refreshing for us. And then my JUCO roots, just being able, at the junior college level, we had roster turnovers pretty often. I mean, it's just, you only have your freshmen and sophomores. So all of those experiences combined, I'm not nervous about it. We kind of saw this coming. And so for the ones that are kind of shocked by it, just weren't prepared. We've been preparing for this, and I kind of like it. I think our season is super long anyway. And so this gives us an opportunity to really just focus on the things that matter.
Coach, how do you go about getting these new faces to buy into your brand of basketball?
Well, I think that happened when they decided to come to Ole Miss. We're proud in having you know, a good blend on our roster, but we are also comfortable with being known as a transfer institution, you know, transfer U. So with all the new pieces, you know, they came from other programs. For them to choose and say they want to come to Ole Miss means that they believed in, you know, what we were doing, what I'm selling, and themselves. So that part is not difficult to do. It's more of just getting them in the daily habit of doing it the Ole Miss way, you know, and that's something that brings on a challenge for anybody that's coming into a new space. But I think they've adjusted well. I really like this group.
What's kind of like unique or special that you've seen about this group? I know it's early, but compared to other teams.
This group has a quiet confidence. I think my teams in the past have been very loud. This group is more so quiet. They do believe in themselves. One thing that is unique with this group too is they've experienced the NCAA tournament here at Ole Miss, so that is the expectation. Like last year, we were trying to paint the picture and say, this is what it's going to be like, and this group is like, Coach, we're going to the tournament. Like that is the expectation. So this group works pretty hard as well, and they get along pretty well. So I think every year, even if I were to bring the same team, it would be a different group. You know, the same people, because time, maturity, experiences. So I don't think it's much different from any team, because every group would bring their own personality and character. But we definitely have a solid blend of personalities and characters that you all will meet.
Any other questions? Great, thanks.
Thank y'all.